Hi everyone, Unfiltered here. Thanks to everyone who requested Aulumu in the comments. I finally got them in. Now let's take a look at them. And of course, we're starting out with the new one, the Rugged case. And I'm very happy to say this case is just great. It looks fantastic, very cyberpunk-like again, and I think it matches the newer camera bump very well. On the backplate, it has all types of design elements too, but most notably the backplate texture, which is now very grippy and it looks very sophisticated too. The MagSafe magnets are of course a 10 out of 10, which is just amazing. And it even has this sort of anti-slip material on there, which helps retain accessories, but from a certain angle it also looks very trippy, as if it's 3D. I love that this case follows the rounding of the iPhone this year, which is just awesome, so it feels like the bigger iPhone you're holding and not a case. Clicky buttons on there, which have a minimal design but also rounded off. All very nice. And now the camera control has a button as well, which has that material on it that sort of slows down your finger while swiping across it for extra control. It's also very responsive, so as if you have the naked iPhone in your hands. Front protection is very minimal, yet it has higher edges at the top and bottom. But that's just added on there, not the swelling of other cases. Now even the sides have a new texture, which reminds me of Kadabi actually, like the synthesis of last year. Makes it a lot grippier, even though it's only partly textured. The edges of the MagSafe ring are all equal with the case, so no sharp pieces that could cause scratches, and the fit is also very good, with the clicky feedback. Nothing but love for this case. Excellent choice. The Aramid case also looks fantastic. The fit is very snug though, almost on the same level as the Banks Armored Grid variant of the Air, which makes it very difficult to remove it from the phone. But it also means it's going nowhere once dropped. And like I said on the Banks video, I honestly prefer this kind of fit now with the minimalist Aramid Fiber cases. Just because there's already so little protection, so the fit then must be more than good. You can feel the texture of the Aramid Fiber, and it also feels a little more rubbery, which makes it very grippy to hold. You won't ever drop this because of the case, that's for sure. It does leave the sides exposed, but at the same time, it looks fantastic, which with the Aramid Fiber cases is also a big factor. The camera bump is as big as on the Banks cases, so that's a good reference point for if you've seen those before, but not this one. Here, they opted for their own unique design, of course, which makes it look very cool. I think Aulumu profits a lot from the new camera bump this year. It gives them a lot of space to create cool and unique designs for it, since they already have that aesthetic. No sharp edges anywhere that could make it lose points, and it even has the subtly higher front screen protection where it's only present on all four corners. Fantastic case again, and MagSafe is probably the first 11 out of 10. Do keep in mind that it's very difficult to remove, so don't expect to remove it constantly. Then, the vegan leather. I must say the fit is also really snug on this one, but still a lot easier to remove than the Aramid Fiber one. So I'd honestly give it a 10 out of 10 score as far as the fit of it goes. It just feels like it's handcrafted for the iPhone. Still with that clicky feedback when installing the case, but it's not easily removed. It really feels like a tailored suit, and that's very nice. The exact same camera bump as on the Aramid Fiber case, which honestly looks really cool, so I would reuse it too. And even though this is without most of the fancy design cutouts and things, it still 100% fits with the camera bump. It's just one of those cases where you instantly know what brand it is. The buttons are very usable, but the power button is a little harder to press than the vanilla experience. The other buttons are clickier, but still not 100% there. There's room for improvement as far as the clickiness or tactile feeling buttons go. But like I said, nothing major. Still 100% usable. On the front, which by the way is equal across the board, so there is awesome protection, it also shows the edge of the iPhone, which is symmetrical and looks very refined. The case feels rounded and the synthetic leather feels really good, and that's not something I say lightly. It's excellent. The case is complemented by a very good and precise camera control button, so even that is fantastic, but it's 100% flush with the case, so keep that in mind as far as the unwanted activation goes. MagSafe still an 8 out of 10, which probably has to do with the thicker material on the backplate. But still, great. Lastly, on the inside it has some sort of foam feeling soft material which will prevent micro scratches for sure. It then also feels nicer than just the regular TPU. Good eye for detail on this case too. And then the slim shockproof case. Now last year I wasn't really a big fan of this one, but I'm very glad to say that they've listened to the feedback and it's now also another great choice this year. The funniest thing of all is that when I was looking at this case thinking, oh wow, they make that cutout really nicely, but they did choose to opt for a cutout again. And then wait, oh, that's not a cutout, that's just a button that looks a lot like the regular iPhone. One point of critique though for that button is that they've used a little too much of that anti-slip material on it, which now actually makes it a little more difficult to use it, since swiping on it is made a little more difficult because of it. Your finger gets stopped on it before you even swipe, but it still works. Just prefer the way the button works on the other models so far. Now, as far as the looks of that button go, this one still wins, and I also love that transparent material next to it. It just makes it look very unique. That silicone-like transparent material is also present on the front, which makes the phone look thicker and bulkier, which might be a downside, but then it's also great because the phone won't fly off a table. The buttons sound like they are a little bit loose in the case, but then they are very clicky and tactile, which is amazing. And they only have a little bit of wiggle room, so nothing major. The backplate is very soft TPU, but it's also very slippery. On the bottom, they did include that silicone again, which is great, so that's really the only point from where it's prevented from slipping out of your hands. And that's the biggest thing with this case this year. It could use more grip. MagSafe, an 8 out of 10 though, here again. And then lastly, the frosted cases. Also comes in two colors and they both look fantastic. Design-wise, they are just all on point. That same camera bump on this one, but the backplate then has a design that sort of is made to match it, which is just awesome. The magnets are a 10 out of 10. And the design on there is just so good. Man, I just cannot stop talking about it. It just looks amazing. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but it then has layers in it too. So some designs are lower in the case, which then create a sort of depth effect or 3D effect. Great. It's got that rounded off design again, which is very comfortable to hold. All buttons are very clicky and tactile too. Take a listen. And the fit is also really good. You can easily slap it on the phone, but the edge then sort of keeps it in place as they are curved inwards, so to say. It's all great. The only thing I would do differently is that on this one, the camera control button is lower, but not the edges, making it feel like it's a smaller button than it actually is. The material is still excellent and it works fantastic, but if we're nitpicking, then that's my take. I'd even prefer the 100% flush button on the vegan leather over this one. On both sides, it has that kadabi-like texture again, which is great for grip since this is pretty much a clear case. And so I'd say get this case too. It is amazing. Awesome to see that they've listened and they now have a better product because of it. Links are in the description for if you want to pick one up. And for now, if you aren't done watching yet, be sure to also watch this video or maybe even that one. And I'll hope to see you there.